Welcome back to Capital Academy. Capital Academy is our after party for our Pitch Me event where entrepreneurs come to convey what it is that they're doing and how they're doing as they are going through their process of raising capital. Well, at Capital Academy, we like to pull back to get a better understanding of the business, and in that respect, I will have the company giving us a little more information as well as some from the panel. And so let me just introduce you to who we will be discussing today, and that is Julie Pitman of I Care for College. We have Pierre Walters from Blue Artists, and we have Daryl Spears from Elite Conversations. So let me just start with each to get an idea of who they are. Julie, please give us a little information on you, your company, so we understand the context of the conversation.
Okay. Well, I am the creator and CEO of I Care for College, Inc., which is designed to be an e-commerce entrepreneurial training program, complete with wonderful organic body care products that is designed to teach, train, and assist college-bound students to be able to raise money for higher education.
Thank you so much. Pierre?
My name is Pierre Walters. I'm the creative director and senior producer at Blue Artists, which is a creative agency and marketing firm that focuses on helping brands to expand as well as supporting their growth. So expansion and brand support. We're really excited to be here and to hear more about iCare.
Great. And Darren?
Daryl Spears. I'm an angel investor, also the owner of EliteConversations.com. We are a consulting and branding company for small business owners. So our mantra is that we help business owners create pies. And pies stand for our process, and there are 4 layers for that phases of helping business owners. One is process improvement. The second is income investment. The third is exposure. And then the fourth is solidifying your sales. So through that, we create a platform to help business owners be prepared not only when they do their pitch, but also to have a marketplace where they can go and sell their product effectively. So I appreciate you being here.
So Julie, I think you are sitting with the right folks to speak with,
so.
right? So I will open it up and then allow our panelists to have some further conversation with you. I absolutely love the idea that you and I believe your son and others that are involved in getting this enterprise up and going. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it so that we can then figure out how much deeper we'd like to go.
Well, iCare was birthed out of being a mom who now was facing child number 3 getting into college and not having the funds to really provide the support that I really wanted to for my son, and I felt badly about that. I have been one to make beauty products and things like that. That's what I've done for a living for the last 30 years. And I was motivated by, what do you have in your hands? Mm-hmm. So I had 15 pounds of African shea butter, and I had infused coconut butters, and I just went into my little lab that I keep at home, and I started making things. I took it to church. I sold $500 worth of products, and just things that I had hand done, and I gave that money to my son when he went away to Hampton University. I had a little change so that he could at least get groceries and little things to get him started, but I wanted to do more, and I thought about the fact that I'm not alone. And so from that and the relationships that I had with different labs and things like that, I realized that I could do something that could be scaled up and help other families the way that my family was going to be helped on such a small level, and actually scale it up to something that it could be something a lot larger.
Gotcha.
I've never worked a 9-to-5 job. My kids have always had some kind of little business or something like that, so they've been trained in entrepreneurship. And so I said, I can teach other people, and they are capable of teaching others. So we kind of put it all together, and we call it the E4 solution, Economic Empowerment for Education through Entrepreneurship. have a great set of training that teaches you how to do a thing, and a great product to get behind, and you've got a student who could potentially come away from school debt-free.
So I think that's fabulous. And Darryl, you were mentioning that you have a student, and this
Absolutely.
resonates for you. So
Yeah, it resonates quite a bit. Having a student, a freshman in college right now, we've been through the process and we know how expensive college is right now. And I like your concept in your program because you're not only helping kids find a way to pay for college, but we need to start showing our kids how to operate in the business world, economics, development. So they get twofold. They're learning how to run a business, and we need to go away from just sending them to college to learn something. So I really like that piece of it as well. There's some things that we talked about that I can ask questions later, but I just wanted to share with you that I like the concept, and it's just a matter of understanding how the business part operates with that. So I appreciate that, and I'll let Pierre speak, and then I'll ask the questions.
Thank you, thank you. You know, at Blue Artists, as a creative agency, when we're looking at a brand, a healthy brand, we're looking at what are the 3 pillars that make it healthy. And we've identified that the 3 pillars of a healthy brand are identity, community, and conversation. Understanding who you are, understanding what the brand is. Who is this brand for? That's the community. And then the conversation, how are those 2 things interacting? And what I thought was extremely compelling about eye care is that it seems to me that the brand is strong. You understand who you are. You understand why we are necessary, why eye care is necessary to help essentially to help young people fund their way through college. But you also understand who your community is, and then also how what's bringing those 2 things together. So what I would like to explore as we continue this discussion is what strategies are you looking at besides what's inherent in the business model? What other strategies are you looking at to better connect what eye care is with the extended community that has the potential to be customers and clients and I don't know if it's a franchise model, but owners and participants within the business model.
Is that you would like for me
It's
to answer that? in this one?
that's what I'd like
It
to
was a statement
explore.
that sort of flipped into a question, so I didn't want to jump the gun.
It's what I'd like to explore as we continue through the conversation. But yeah, it was loaded with questions.
Yeah, it
so
was.
I got you.
So take it from whatever point that you can fill us in on.
Well, the thing that I believe that eye care is a layered kind of a system because you've got 2 groups of people. You've got the student who, and I'm talking about students who are motivated, who have a no matter what attitude about getting their higher education. It's not something, entrepreneurship period is not something for the faint at heart. And I was inspired about, really looking for go-getter students by my niece who texted me, Aunt Julie, I need money for school and I'm willing to do anything to raise money to pay my way through school. And I'm very proud of her. What she had in her hand was art, and she's actually got an art exhibit that's going to start. But as an aunt and an entrepreneur, she looked to me because she knows I know how to make money, but I didn't have enough to give her, and that bothered me. But she also said she was willing to do anything. And she was in tears when I described eye care to her and said, baby, thank you so much that you gave me that heart. So I'll never be able to say to you again, I'm sorry, I can't help. And so the model came out of inspiration from my own family. But I also realized that there are 2 groups of people we're talking to. We're talking to the parents and the supporters of the student and the students themselves. And they're 2 different sets of thinkers. So I wanted to do something that, from the student standpoint, was something they could get, excited about, product that they could get behind. Millennials are very dedicated to green technology. They're very dedicated to getting rid of chemicals and doing things natural. And so the product itself addresses that. But at the same time, they don't have the same kind of thought process as I do as a baby boomer of, hard work and lots of hours. They want to work smart. They want to get it fast, get in, get out. So that's when we came up with, okay, you're going to run this business from your cell phone and your backpack. You'll have a collection of samples for people who want to touch and feel, but when they say yes, you're not going to have a closet full of products. You're going to take out your cell phone, and we've proven that, you know, particularly African American women buy more stuff from their cell phone than any other demographic of people. But you're going to take out your cell phone, you're going to take the order, and you're going to put your phone back in your bag, and you're going to go to class. And eye care is going to take care of you from there. From the parental standpoint, as a mother of 4, 3 children, because all of the first 3 are 2.5 years apart. So for a long period of time, 3 sets of order forms, 3 sets of catalogs for pizzas and cakes and cookies and pies and all of these kinds of things came to me. And I never wanted to sell stuff that made people sick or fat. It just always went through me. So from a parental standpoint, I also didn't want to have to drive all over creation, delivering, and all of the problems that come with that. So to solve that, everything is fed into eye care through that program and then sent out. So mom is not having to drive everywhere. Nothing is thawing, hoping that people show up before it turns to mush and wanting their money back. And that it's something that was consumable at the same time, that people enjoy, that they run out of quickly and want to reorder. Because the second half of the overall program is to help that student develop the first 100 customers. Return to those customers and say, on a subscription basis, we want you to purchase 1 product a month. Your student's going to get $5 from that product, and $5 is going to go into a scholarship program. So if you start a student at 8th grade and you increase by 100 customers a year, by the time they start their freshman year in college, conceivably, they could be earning $2,500 a month. Now you don't have to call mom and dad to ask for anything. By the time you're a senior in college, eye care is giving you a check that's paying for your rent on an apartment, your car, and you're launching your life with student bills paid and from a position of power. And the other component is you will also have an opportunity to actually own stock in eye care. So you come away from college owning a business instead of working for one.
What I didn't hear the first time was $2,500 a month.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I
She
think that
seems to got-
definitely,
she's
right?
got that down.
Yes. So,
That puts them on the field, and then owning stock also, so understanding those components.
What I think is really, I think really just important is that your community, your brand is millennials.
Yes.
And my goodness, the workforce is changing. And what eye care, my goodness, I feel like I'm an advocate. Well, what eye care seems to be doing is providing a situation so that regardless of whatever they're in school studying for, they're leaving school as an entrepreneur, or at least with that in their back pocket, so that they're equipped for the modern workforce. And entrepreneurship is the future. I mean, it is. More people are empowered today with the internet and with these tools to be entrepreneurs, and eye care is packaging that nicely and making it possible for people who may not really know or may be intimidated by the idea of being an entrepreneur or someone who owns a business. So I think that's really very important.
we no longer live in an economy where one stream of income is enough. We have to think about other ways of creating flow of income, because millennials, used to be, as a baby boomer, you got a career and you stayed in it anywhere from 15 to 30 years. Baby boomers, millennials move around every 5 years now, and it's not even seen as a bad thing, but it also creates this environment where opportunities for multiple streams of income, not only is it a good thing, but now it's a necessary thing.
Right.
And what better way to get them started than if you can start as early as the 8th grade and move them in that mindset.
Absolutely.
So Julie, so talk to us about your launch. How are you launching this? What does your launch of the product and or service look like?
Well, right now, because this is really concept stage, we, other than a couple of test sales and things like that, my initial thought process is, one, the entrepreneurial training program. um, there's two scales. That's loving the product itself, the eye care product line, which is right now an 11 product. So there's 11 different streams of income, and we can see which ones will actually flow and feed, and something's going to be a bestseller and something's going to be something that we phase out. But the selection of products that we're offering appeal to not only the millennials and college students. So there's shampoos and conditioners, there's shaving gels, and there's body butters and sugar scrubs and lip balms, things that people use anyway. So there's this I believe that from a branding standpoint, that if we strongly promote that this is not only a high quality product, but it is one that is feeding the community. That every time you purchase this lip balm, somebody's got a better shot at an education. Every time you purchase this body butter, it's making a difference in someone's meal plan. It's making a difference in someone's residence or things like that.
That's the thing that I wanted to kind of key in on earlier when I said identity, community, and conversation. Because what's unique about eye care is, I think, this scholarship opportunity.
Yes.
And my goodness, any way that you can leverage that particular angle as an opportunity to connect the community with your vision, I think is incredibly powerful. I mean, I know earlier you mentioned as part of the profit model that a portion, I think it was $2 to $5, would be going to a scholarship fund.
Yes.
So, for clarity, is that scholarship fund specific to the student who's earning that or selling that product, or is it a general eye care?
It's a general fund.
Could you explain
What
that?
I'd like to do,
Yes.
along with that same question, I'd like from an investor mindset, when you hear sponsorship, to hear if there is any add-on question you'd like her to respond to as she's answering that question. Because I know for me, coming out of investment banking, you hear that it resonates on the different side of the balance sheet, right?
Absolutely.
So is there anything you'd want to add to that as she responds to Pierre's question?
Yes, putting on, again, the investor's hat is really understanding that difference between what you're raising as opposed to your income that you're going to be using for your investors to get their return on. And even above that, Pierre mentioned about millennials. The cosmetic, beauty, body care world is very lucrative. I mean, talking about billions and billions of dollars,
Yes.
but it's very, very competitive. I mean, very competitive in terms of challenges. We mentioned during the pitch that you're going to be targeting millennials. How are you going to package this so that it's attractive to millennials? You mentioned the green, you mentioned the organic and the chemical free and all that, which is good now across the board, but that's not what's going to sell anymore. It's going to be the branding piece. What are you thinking about in terms of packaging and being creative so that millennials could say, hey, I'm selling something cool instead of just selling a
So you have a lot to answer in this next minute and a half.
Okay. All right. So this is where part of the bridge funding dollars are going, and that is not just for the legal compliance and those kind of things, but also the branding experts. That I'm on the edge of a baby boomer and a Gen Xer. So I already know that if I'm talking to the parents, but that's where I'm incorporating my children who are millennials, who are now talking to me about the very things that you're talking about. We want it to look good. So that is not my area of expertise. So that's where I seek out the expertise with branding experts and researchers who are saying, what do millennials, we already know that I got down what goes in the bottle.
Exactly.
But the development and like the slides and things that you saw in my pitch, it was really just something that I just created because I wanted a jumping off point. But it's not anything that I'm married to in the way of the logo, how the bottles look. I'm very open. Once I got clear that what's in the bottle is high quality and good for somebody else's kids, how it's presented is I'm very open to and seek the consultants and the branding and seek the experts to help to develop to get that message out.
Okay, so we do have to wrap up, But I would love an answer to that also. When it comes to the sponsorships, is that specific to the person
No.
bringing it in,
No.
or is it
That
a
is
general
fund. So it's a twofold thing. One of the things, the first goal is to help each individual student earn at least $2,000 to $2,500 because it makes a significant impact. But the second part is to support the community at large. And what I would like to see is that when that scholarship fund builds up, every year we divide by 2,000 and we issue scholarships that are not less than that. The model as to how an individual will earn that scholarship is yet to be decided.
I don't think there's enough time in our day to hear enough about what we want to hear. So really, Julie, thank you so much for explaining to us what you're doing. Thank you, Pierre, for joining
pleasure.
us.
My pleasure.
And Daryl, again, I
Excellent.
thank you so much for being part of the panel. And we thank you for listening to this episode of Capital Academy, where we want to make sure that our community and our founders and our businesses have an opportunity to expose what it is that they're doing to a broader audience. Capital Academy is all about helping entrepreneurs and founders get to the capital resources that they need in order to move their projects forward. So if you want any additional information on Capital Academy, we would love for you to join us. And if you like what we're doing, we would love for you to share us. Until next time, see you then.